Hey guys, it's Jen. I'm here with my first official Felicity Jane design team project using the September Feels Like Home kit. I'm going to get started in Silhouette Studio and show you how I created the background. So if you go to artists in the Silhouette shop in the Silhouette online store and search Felicity Jane, you'll see all of the cute shapes that are available. And I'm going to use this one today, and it is called Scrappy Badges. I'm just going to use that heart or the circle with the heart inside of it. And I'm going to create a background out of that one shape. So I have that shape already just sitting here on my mat. And what I'm going to do is copy and paste this a bunch of times. You can do this the shortcut way, which is Option. Just hold down the Option key and click and drag the shape, and that will duplicate it really easily. Or you can right click and do copy paste. I think on I'm on a Mac, so it's Option, but if you are on a PC, I think it's Alt, if you click Alt and drag. So I'm just going to create a bunch of these layers or a bunch of these shapes and make them different sizes and kind of overlap them and arrange them on the mat. And I'm just going to arrange it so that it fills up most of the page, and like I said, just overlapping the shapes. And once you have them all how you like it, you're going to select the entire piece, and so just click and drag over the whole thing. Go to the modify window at the top, which is a little rectangle with an M in the corner, and you're going to choose weld. And that will connect all the shapes together so it creates one continuous cut line. And I'll show you really quick. Let me just take out that black fill color so you can see the cut. So that's how it's going to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to my Silhouette, and this will be the background for my layout. So I've gone ahead and cut that out on my Silhouette, and I'm just peeling it off the mat here. I will save those center hearts for another layout. I'm using this photo of my daughter sleeping in her bed, and as I was thinking about this kit, it's called Feels Like Home, I was thinking about the things that feel like home to me. And one of the best things about home is when you come home from vacation and you get to sleep in your own bed. And so that's what this layout's going to be about. I'm going to back it on some watercolor paper. I like the texture and the off-white that it has, but I'm also going to be putting some mist on the background. So this helps it if you put any mixed media down on your background, anything wet, for it not to warp if you use a nice watercolor paper. So this is just Canson watercolor paper that I got at Michael's. And I'm just going to put two different colors. These are some older Mr. Huey's mist colors in Splash and Bazinga. And I'm just trying to match the kind of aqua color that's in some of the papers of the kit. And I want it to peek through the back of those hearts. I do plan to back a bunch of the hearts with patterned paper as well, so I'm keeping that in mind. And I just really like the texture that this adds to the layout. So here you can see how that's looking, and I really like the idea of leaving that big heart with just the blue and greenish color poking out behind instead of paper. So now I'm going to look through the papers to see what I might want to include for the background, and then I'm pulling out a few other things that I know I'll use as I go here. And I want to use that floral paper, but I'm kind of hoarding the large 12x12 piece, so I still have a little bit of the 3x4 piece from the cut apart sheet that I used on my last layout that I'll use to back a couple of these hearts. I for sure want to use that star paper because stars make you think of kind of like dreaming and sleeping, and so I thought that was perfect. And I'm going to use both sides of it. So the other side has this multicolor thin stripe pattern, and it looks really cute underneath some of those hearts, and it's a little bit more subtle. So I like the mixture of some more subtle prints with a few bolder prints. So I'm just making sure to back the ones that aren't going to get covered up by my photo. I thought I might use that big polka dot paper with the bright red polka dots, but I decide not to. And here's where I find the rest of that 3x4 card, and I'm going to back two little hearts with that. And I am going to use the other side of that polka dot paper, which is the wood grain. And I just like like I said, I like to mix a few bold and a few more subtle patterns. So this is a bolder one, and I just like the homey feel that dark wood gives the layout. So here I'm still thinking about backing a few of them with that polka dot paper, but I'll end up taking that off. So I'll just put a few more of the other patterns behind some more of those circles. So I'm going back to that stripe, and then I'll go back to a little bit of that star paper and then one more wood grain as well. So I like the way that's looking. That's a good mixture of papers, and I still get to see the background a bit. I know my title is going to be Sleeping in Your Own Bed Feels Like Home. So I'm using that. That Feels Like Home is from the cut apart sheet embellishments that you get that have a sticker backing. And I really think that's adorable. So I'm going to use that for sure. And the stars that were on the puffy stickers and the little cloud I thought were perfect for this layout as well. I'm going to use this kind of hurt my heart a little bit to cut up this striped paper, but I'm going to do it. First, I'm going to back my photo on some white cardstock to give it a white border so that it stands out a little bit more. And then I'm going to mat it on this bold stripe paper. And I'm just matting it with the blue, green, and yellow to bring out those specific colors. And I'm going to mat it twice actually, so that the yellow ends up on the other side as well. So you'll see that here. I'm kind of a little bit off screen. I thought about matting it with the pink and red side again, but I like it just keeping to these few colors. So you just really get a subtle hint or pop of that red and pink in those patterned papers. And the rest of it's kind of blue, which again makes me think of dreaming and sleeping for some reason. So now I'm just going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in my fine line bottle to adhere the papers to the open parts of those hearts on the back of the cut file. And I'm making sure that the part of the pattern I want showing is showing. So specifically on the floral ones, I needed to make sure that everything looked the way I wanted it to. I know for sure that I want to mount the whole cut file on some foam because I want it to stand up to give that shadow, and it helps it to just stand out a little bit more because it blends into the background a lot if I just lay it directly onto the background. So I'm going to spare you most of this process, but at first I started using just my thin foam squares, and then I decided to just cut up some fun foam that I have because it's just easier and it's more inexpensive. It's more economical. So I'll back all of this with that fun foam, and then I will adhere that to the back of my layout. There you go. And now I'll kind of get to some of the embellishing. So I'm going to lay my photo down and just get that mounted. So here you can see where I have the way that I have that cut. I have some of the yellow stripe on either side of the photo. And I thought about tucking it into that heart, but it just kind of wasn't working for me. So I'm going to work on the title first. I also thought about placing that little that little house flare underneath one of the hearts, but I decided against that as well. I'm pulling out a few embellishments. I said I was going to work on the title first, but I'm going to dink around for a minute. I really wanted to use that little white bow, but it doesn't end up making it. I'm going to spell out the word bed with the foam thickers that we got in the kit. And I'm going to align my entire title along the right side of the photo. And I just like the way it looks. So I'm using my typewriter. You could use your computer for journaling if you don't have a typewriter for part of my title and my journaling. So I just went and typed all of that up on some white cardstock. And I typed up sleeping in your own so that it could lead to the word bed. And then just the journaling, which I just am talking about how when you come home from vacation, the best thing ever is to sleep in your own bed. And I might put this at the end of my vacation album, my Oregon trip album. So we'll see. Or I might just put it in my regular scrapbook. I haven't decided yet. So I'm just cutting up those strips. I really like the way that typed journaling strips look just layered onto a white background. I could have handwritten on the background, but lately I've just been really loving the way my typewriter looks. So I am doing that. And just trying to decide where I might want to put that flare badge. I'll end up moving it to the top here in a minute. And I'm cutting up the strips that lead up to the word bed as well. And I'll adhere those right onto the photo. And I'm going to get that word down first. And I like the way that the black, it stands out, but since it's on top of a black and white photo, it's not too bold, like it kind of all blends together. And I like how the whole entire title is black and white. It's kind of a longer title. And I always like including elements from the kit as part of my title. So like if there's words that I can include into my title, I like to do that. So just going to adhere that whole piece down now. And then I'll get my journaling adhered. I'm using my fine line bottle to adhere the journaling strips because it dispenses such a fine line of glue. And it's just easier to adhere them that way. I'm just kind of making sure that the line doesn't go over the edge. I just want the entire strip of words to be just on the white. And then I will place that little flare at the top of the journaling. So after it says feels like home, then you see the little picture of the house, and then it kind of leads you down to the journaling. I'm going to use these little star puffy stickers and just kind of create with your eye a line of embellishment and words and all that going up the side of the photo a little bit. I'm looking through the cut apart sheet, which I already cut everything apart, and I'm going to use a few of these little word strips. I'm using the one that says but I'm in my mind I'm saying like bed's good. But it does say which works fine. It says sleeping in your bed feels like home. So either way it works to me. There's that word again. Sorry. I put the little heart or the cloud sticker so that it kind of nestles in amongst those words. And then I just stamped using my Chamel roller date stamp with some bottle ink from Adirondack, that's Ranger, and put that at the bottom next to the journaling. And I added a couple of more word strips at the bottom, so happy and then a little heart. So like I said, I'm kind of creating a little line of words and embellishment down the side of the photo. I really like the way it looks. And these are on sticker backing, so if I'm sticking it directly to the background, then I just peel off the sticker. But if I'm not, then I use my adhesive on the back. So now it says, hello, sleeping in your own bed feels like home, and then happy and a heart. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put these stars. I know I want to use them, I just haven't decided exactly where yet. But in a second, I'm going to remember that there are some little stars in the die cuts as well as little wood veneer stars. So I'm going to use this little die cut that's kind of that teal color and nestle it in between the cloud and the words there. And I will also add some of the wood veneer wood veneer stars as well. And I just scatter those up and down the layout. I thought at first it was going to be too much, but I liked the way it looked, so I decided to go for it. And I'm just using my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive again to adhere those because it's easier that way. And that is really going to complete the layout. I hope that you've enjoyed watching, and be sure to check out felicityjane.com and click on blog to see more information and still photos for this layout, and to check out the rest of the design team, what they'll be working on this month. We're posting every day different projects that you can see on the blog, so be sure to check that out. You can find me at craftyjenscout.com. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon.